Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. In this video we're going to be looking at question number 17 on our grade 8 Gauss paper. Distinct points are placed on a circle. Each pair of points is joined with a line segment. An example with 4 points and 6 line segments is shown. If 8 distinct points are placed on a circle, how many line segments will there be? Okay. I think there was a question similar to this on the grade 7 Gauss. I don't think it was 8 distinct points. I think it was 6. And now, but the approach is basically going to be the same as I did in that video. It probably would have been maybe question 19 or 20 or something like that. Okay, so, well, 8 points is not so bad that we can't draw a picture of that. Okay. Now, this is a question, it's nice, and I comment in the grade 7 Gauss paper video that this has a really nice generalization. But I think if we just want to do the contest fast and get an accurate answer, what we need to do is find a way to count these segments. So here I'm putting 8 points on a circle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color code, but I want to count things up. And anytime we try and count things up, be it, patterns, sequences, ways that we can make 4-digit numbers so that this, and this happens. We want to have a plan. We want to have a strategy so that we don't count something twice and we don't miscount something, that we don't miss something out of our count. Okay? So having an order, having an algorithm, having a process is a good way to go about doing things. So here's my process. I'm going to pick a point and I'm going to connect it up to every other point. And by using different colors, which is a great reason why you should bring things like pencil crayons to your contest, because it makes it very easy to count in this way. As long as I, take one point and I get all the line segments that go with that point, and then move on to the next one, and then the next one, and so on around the circle, I will not miss anything. I go to each point in turn, and we'll be doing just fine. Okay? It'll be a little harder if I'm just using pencil, because it might be not so easy to count, but you'll find actually pretty quickly that there is a bit of a pattern here. Okay. So I connect this point up and I get 7 segments coming from this point. Now I'll put a number out there so I can count around the circle. And now I move on to another point and I'll switch colors. So we'll connect everything up. Now we're not going to connect it to this first one here because we already have this connection. And we already have this. I'm just going to go back over it in purple just to make it really clear. Okay? So that means that for this point here, there's only 6 points that we should be connecting to. And that's going to give me 6 different line segments. Okay, and now we move on to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can sort of see, well, we're going to go around the circle. And any point you realize the pattern, you can just sort of skip to the end and say, okay, I got to do 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. And if you can make that connection, great. Okay? Sometimes it'll take a little longer. Sometimes you might be wary of your pattern recognition skills, and you might just say, well, I'm just going to stick it out. I'm going to finish the whole thing off. There we go. Oops, that's 2. Don't want to screw up now. And we'll use the faint yellow. Oops. There we go. For our last one. Okay. So this generalizes nicely. If I've got n points around a circle, I'll be adding up n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus n minus 3. And in fact, there's a general pattern. You're welcome to try and prove it. But it's n times n minus 1 over 2 is the number of line segments we'll get with n points around the circle. But in this case, well, we just need our answer. So we add all these up, and if you got a calculator, that's great. If not, well, it's not that hard to add it up. In fact, we can even pair things up. 7 and 1 is 8. 6 and 2 is 8. 5 and 3 is 8. So that's 3 8s. That's 24, plus another 4 in the middle. That sum is going to be 28. Or you could say it's 8 times 7 over 2. That would also work if you trust this formula that I just sort of made up off the top of my head. Okay, you can show this formula. This is also something a very common formula. It relates to things called triangular numbers. If you want to look those up, they're very interesting. They pop up on contests from time to time. But in terms of just getting the answer here, we're looking for E, 28. And that finishes the question off quite nicely. So join me in the next video if you would like to for question number 18.